Well, hey, I'm Jeff Baumgartner, a senior editor at Light Reading. We're here at Tech Expo 2025 in Washington, D.C., and I'm joined by Stefan Murry, the CFO of AOI. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Thank you for discussing with us today.
Sure thing. So, the business of AOI, at least the cable business, has changed quite a bit, I think, in recent years, right? Because you transitioned into a business where you're selling directly to cable operators and coming up with your own branded line of business. And I've been following along in the earnings to kind of see how that's been going. And I think from a numbers standpoint, it's looking pretty good. You guys have been growing. So talk a little bit about the trajectory of the cable business right now and maybe what's happening, some new expansion areas that you're going to explore.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you for bringing that up. AOI has been in the cable business for over 23 years. We launched our first cable TV product, which was a return path laser back in 2002. And over the time, intervening years, we've had a number of different additions to the product line and some changes in business model, as you alluded to. For many, many years, we were selling components, sub-assemblies, and then sort of what we call ODM, design and manufacturing services to various cable TV equipment providers. A few years ago, we sort of recognized the need for faster innovation in this industry, particularly around. We saw the emergence of the smart amp and smart technologies in kind of moving into the edge of the cable network, and we realized that this was going to require a lot more technology embedded in units that had been relatively dumb units. I mean, amplifiers have been just electronic units that sat outside and
right, no visibility.
No real visibility, no ability to control or do telemetry. And so, we felt like this was an opportunity for us to, again, switch our business model and go direct to the MSOs, the MSO community, to help them better develop the technologies that they were going to need to more effectively manage these smart technologies as they rolled out. So, we started that transition in 2022, completed it and rolled it out at SCTE at this show 2 years ago in 2023. And have been expanding ever since. As you alluded, from a financial standpoint, revenue is growing. We have a great product portfolio, mainly comprised of amplifiers, a new node product, which we're launching here at the show, and some software products, which we'll probably talk about a little bit for monitoring and control. And that's been really instrumental in the growth of our business over the last couple of years. So.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about software, right? I think we're here at the show, you can't really look at any technology show without running into something that says AI, right? And we're starting to see AI get embedded into components and for remote management and control. So maybe talk a little bit about the strategic importance of that. And do you consider AOI as a software company or maybe a hybrid, where you're still doing a lot of hardware?
I think that's an excellent question. To me, we are a hardware company first and foremost, but with the smart amplifiers and the smart technology, the distinction between hardware and software is really blurring. I think it's impossible to say you're just building hardware without having the software to enable and optimize that hardware, and vice versa. I think it wouldn't make a lot of sense to make software without having some exposure to the hardware side. So from my standpoint, the optimum situation is to have both hardware and software capabilities. So historically, we've been much more of a hardware-focused company, and we still are by and large, but we've been adding significant manpower to our software engineering team to be able to enable the functions that our customers need. So I mentioned earlier, our focus here, the way we see the industry right now, and particularly with our MSO customers, is they have a need to be able to better predict and prevent network problems. And so we recognize that this is an opportunity to apply some software tools, including AI, which you asked about, in order to be able to predict problems before they happen and be able to proactively maintain their networks. And so we've made great strides in enabling our first software releases are being shown here at the show that will allow technicians to diagnose network problems before they happen, prioritize those problems directly using the AI tool that we have, and be able to schedule maintenance and repairs at a convenient time and one that's going to result in the least amount of customer downtime for our customers, and that's what I think is very important.
Now you can do that on the network, because they used to have a lot more visibility on each end.
Exactly.
The modem or the CMTS.
Yeah, and that predictability, that ability to look inside the amplifiers in this case and be able to see parameters that maybe are trending in the wrong direction and be able to go out and maintain those units before they actually affect customers, I think is really, really important.
Okay. Now, one of your customers is Charter, and you're involved with this big HFC upgrade project that we're keeping an eye on. Now, Charter is also a leader in this industry getting into the mobile business, right? They're doing really well there. And that is leading a lot of discussion about, okay, cable's role in convergence, right? So how do you help them? What kind of role can AOI play to help them on that strategic focus of the business?
Right. Well, there's a number of technologies that are being looked at to try to enable or augment this conversion to a converged network between mobile and cable. We've got our hands on a lot of those. I mean, certainly our RF engineering expertise is being employed directly with Charter and others to explore ways that we can, increase the bandwidth, increase the flexibility of the network. Things like latency come into play, and we're looking at all those solutions from a technical standpoint. But I will come back again to some of the predictive maintenance models that we have. I think a precursor for having a converged mobile network is that your HFC network has to be as reliable as your mobile network would like to be. And so until you can sort of enable those services and roll out the modern HFC infrastructure that can backstop that mobile effort, all the new technologies that we might come up with and specifically aimed at mobile aren't going to be as useful until we can improve the network reliability to the point where mobile becomes a viable, business model. So that's what we're working on with our customers now. All
right, and last thing I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about some news that happened at the show, right? Yesterday, Cable Labs CEO Phil McKinney announced a couple of initiatives that are going on. One is a DOCSIS 4.0 optional annex is what it's called. I'm going to call it DOCSIS 4.0 Plus and see what happens. But
reasonable approximation.
Yeah. So, but going to 3 gigahertz and then something not designated yet, but going to 6, and then I'll put cable in position to deliver 25 gig and up to 60 gig on the HFC network. And 1.8 is really state of the art right now. So as you hear that, what's your reaction? And do you have to start thinking about putting that on your roadmap?
Well, I think we've been very active in exploring, bandwidth extensions on the cable plant. I've said for many, many years, a big attraction of an HFC network is it's the largest bandwidth pipe that passes virtually everybody's homes. It passes more than 95% of homes in the United States. So you've got this huge bandwidth pipe out there. But there are challenges in being able to utilize that bandwidth, especially over distance, right? So as you go to higher frequencies, you have to find technologies or improve technologies to be able to utilize that bandwidth that already exists. So that's something that we've been actively involved with for a long time. We certainly support these efforts by the industry to try to more efficiently utilize the plant that they've already, by and large, paid for. And by virtue of AOI's long experience in this industry, we think we're really well positioned to help them utilize that existing bandwidth. With respect to the specific frequencies involved, a 3 gigahertz extension and a 6 gigahertz extension, again, we've got technologies that we've shown to be able to work in those situations. Obviously, the industry is going to take a number of years, I think, to roll out 1.8 and then figure out what that next generation looks like. But when the industry is really ready for that transition, AOI will be there to support it.
Okay, so meanwhile, it doesn't hurt to look out into the horizon, I guess.
We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we weren't out looking out for the next thing, right?
All right. Well, hey, Stefan, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
It was good speaking with you. Thank you.
You too.